Okay, everybody. I am Sharon. I am the accidental art maker. We are live. I have the privilege of wrapping up the Colorful Collective. And hopefully you've heard about this before you tuned in today, but at the Flourish IOD conference last month, I got to meet a ton of amazing women. But I hung out with five quite a lot. We just naturally seemed to drift towards each other. And we decided at the end of the IOD conference to, on the day of this release, to do some kind of collaboration. And hopefully you've been able to see a little bit or all of the other women who have been doing this colorful collective. I'm going to put their names. I'm going to run them down here. So it started off with T this morning from Upcycle Vintage Charm, and then Sherry from Front Room, and on 7th, Joni from Weathered Wings, and then Kim of Art for the Nest. And then some of you are probably still watching Sonda. I was just watching her and she was still working, but I need to start at the top of the hour because of the software I have. I'll get kicked out by Facebook if I start too late. So here I am. Sharon, accidental art maker. I've been upcycling furniture for over 10 years, and I've been an IOD stockist coming up on 2 years now. And today was an IOD release, and I'm sure a lot of you got to see it. So, hey Amanda, how are you? And hopefully you've had a chance to check them all out. What we are focusing on today is two two pieces, and we picked the primitive mold and we picked the Pennsylvania. God, why am I blanking on it? It's the stamp, Pennsylvania stamp. So Pennsylvania folk stamp and primitive. And they're two really cool two things. So hey Donna. Oh, thanks for popping on over. I know she was still going. I know Sonnet was still going live, but I needed to get going here. And it's okay. Oh my goodness, look who's joining us. Royce, you're going to be very proud of me tonight because I talked my husband into being the cameraman tonight. And then look, we've got arrows coming in. I'm glad you guys are joining me from Sonnets. Thank you so much for joining us. And we've got Sonnet sent April too. Thank you, Sonnet. Sonnet and I were roommates on at the Flourish conference. We didn't know each other from Adam, but she bravely agreed to rent an Airbnb with me, and so we basically were complete strangers. And she showed up on Sunday night, and we hit it off, which was good because we were sharing the same space for several days. And then we met these other women from the collective that we formed a collective, and I'm number 6 today. So if you guys have been watching all day long, you've seen some pretty fun stuff come along. We all have our own little spin on what we're doing. And well, I have a bunch of people. Oh, look, we got Weathered Wings Art. Yep, Front Room. So these are the stockists from the conference that we just got together. And so anyways, let me get going here. And I'm going to be saying hi and adding people on as they come on in here. Yeah, so that's the list of stockists. I'm the last one coming up today. My name is Sharon. I'm the accidental art maker. I have an online only store. I don't have a booth anywhere. I've been having booth envy today, watching all the other women, kind of do their thing from their show. So thank you so much. Let me know where you are watching from as you join on in. If you're watching replay, please let me know that you're here on replay, and please follow me on Facebook or YouTube if you haven't done so already. I would really appreciate it. And Instagram, my husband is reminding me. I mean, the cameraman. Okay, so So if you guys watched the IOD show today, you saw we picked the primitive mold and the Pennsylvania folk art. And I just wanted to share a few things with you before diving into the art, because when I saw that we were doing these pieces of art, these, we had like this folk and primitive theme going. Um, I wanted to, getting ready to share my screen here. I wanted to understand how can I prepare for this art? So let me see. Can you guys see? This is my Pinterest page I started putting together here. Can you guys see that okay? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. Um, so let me do this. Okay, so I started doing some research, started looking through, putting together a pin board. I'll share this with you guys later if you want to take a look at it. But you can see a lot of common themes, which is the bright colors, which I love. If you haven't followed me or watched a live of me before, you're about to see some bright colors here. So get ready. And there's symmetry. There's bold lines and colors. And this was like really like a community. People did art together almost as like a community. Like this is very community based. There's also some interesting history on hexes. So people made primitive art in Pennsylvania too. The folk art, you'll see like a lot of hex signs, and then apparently they did like hex signs around weddings as well. It was pretty fascinating. So, anyways, yeah, I'll share this board with you guys in later. But read up on the folk art and primitive art. It's fascinating when you learn a little bit more about it. Maybe it will help you uh, with your art. So I did some prep work before today, and I filmed it because I wanted to show you guys. Let's see here. Just I want to make sure I hit everybody here. Royce has advice for you, John, which is tell him the cameraman has to talk on camera. That probably won't be a problem, Royce. He is not shy. um, yeah, so let me just show you. I also wanted to show you. So I have this chest, and it's actually from J.C. Penney's, and it's 20 years old, almost 20 years old. I got it was my kid's toy chest when my daughter was born about 19 and a half years ago. So I probably have had it for about 20 years. And so I'm going to share the before with you. Let's see, share screen, and then I want to share a window, and then here we go. So that's the chest from looking at it straight forward. And let me come in here. Sorry, this is a little clunky. I'm trying to give you guys some background here and keep it interesting. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Present. I'm on StreamYard, and so I'm trying some new stuff here. I just want to show you one more picture of this chest. This is a good one right here. There you go. So that's how it looks like. It opens up. It's your basic brown chest. Toys were in this for the years, and then it's been sitting in my my son's closet for a very long time. And so I painted the chest, and I'm going to share that with you too. Give me 1 second here. Let me find like one of the first ones. So I painted it some pretty bright colors. This is Liquid Sunshine. I'm a DIY stockist as well as an IOD one. And I've got some Liquid Sunshine here. I love bright colors, like I think I mentioned earlier. And then for the top, I went with Kissing Booth. That's Kissing Booth right there. So I had a lot of fun, putting on a couple of coats and getting this bright because I loved the bright colors that I was seeing. And then I went through and I have one set of molds made because I want to kind of get a sense of composition. My idea is to take the stamps and the molds, and for this show, decorate the top of the chest with the stamps and the molds. So I think I think that will look pretty. And so I did a set of molds here because I wanted to show you guys, if you haven't used molds before, it's very easy to do. It just takes some practice here. So that's the primitive mold being set up. And I think I have this here. Yeah, this is me. I stuck them in the freezer. It helps me get out some of the delicate pieces from the mold, but I still managed to lose a rabbit's foot in the mold removal here. So sorry about that.
It wasn't a lucky rabbit's foot.
My husband is saying it was not a lucky rabbit's foot. So those are the molds popping on out there for you to take a look at. Lots of detail. Like, it's kind of hard to tell because they're kind of blocky and chunky, but like in the center, the flowers, there's like those little, I don't know what you call them in the center of the flower. Do you know what they're called? Stamens or something? I don't know. And so here's more of the mold coming out right here. So symmetry was another big thing, right, with folk art. And so how can I find symmetry in my art tonight with the stamps and with the molds? I don't really have a plan. I think, like you saw with the other stockist, I'll be having fun and winging it as we move along, and just kind of enjoying this together. At some point, my husband the cameraman will be reading out comments and feedback from you guys. So please keep him busy with your comments and your feedback. Okay, and so there's the last of the mold there. I'm going to come out here. Okay, and so now we are going to flip on the other camera here. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so now this is what the chest looks like now. Okay, so, oh, wait a minute, you guys can't see it yet, can you? Hold on. All right, now you can see it. So I got this really pretty top right here in Kissing Booth. I've got my molds, and so what I've been doing is playing around with the idea of this mold here being on the bottom there. Now tell me what you guys think about this, because one of the things I was thinking about is having molds on top of a chest. Does that prevent people from putting things down on it? And if so, is that a bad thing? I don't know. So I mean, we can play around composition here, but like I was thinking, I like these up in the corner like this. And then I have some other little bits here, some flowers and some things like that. Maybe poke these in so it's not 100%, but something like that along the front. What do you guys think? Roy says, these are going to be so fun. Oh, you are welcome for the inspiration from Pinterest. Yeah, so I'm thinking about something like this. The other thing I was thinking about too, so we have this one right here, is multiples, right? So maybe pull the symmetry out. And then what if there were multiples of this flower along the bottom or this tulip along the bottom? I'm not sure, because I want to see what the middle turns out like first and then go with molds from there. So like I said, I made these in advance to kind of help me get an idea of what that could look like. I'm a visual person and it helps me plan. All right, so I'm going to take the molds and put them to the side here. And I'm going to open up a brand new stamp for you. If you are new to stamps, raise your hands. Let's see here. Anybody new to stamps? Maybe the rabbit flowers between the rabbit and the bird. Yeah, maybe rabbit skins from the bird. Yeah, that could be pretty. All right, now I got a bunch of dry clay up here. That's all right. So if you're new to stamps, this is what they look like coming out. You peel this plastic off, save this plastic. You can use it for so many things, including keeping your stamp safe if you don't have an envelope. I've got like a light grit pad right here. And hey, Nikki from Richmond, Indiana. There's like a light coating, I don't know the technical name on it, on the top of the stamps here. And we don't dig them off. We just gently brush them off. So you go one direction like this. So I went one direction with this bird, and then now you go the opposite. I'll make sure I get this bird's tail. That's going to be very important. And then go the, whoops, another direction there. That was not me. That was the sandpaper. And then just go opposite direction here. So you guys have been seeing these stamps in play all day and different ways that the stockists have approached them. I'm going to show you how I like to do these. So here's my surface I'm working on. Here's my stamps. Wow. Usually you have to like pull super hard to get the stamps off. What I like to do is set up my composition on the piece that I'm working on. It's kind of hard to not like the birds facing each other. But if you look through that Pinterest board, you'll also see where people use like multiple birds like this, and then they use masking. So if you guys are familiar with masking, but like I did consider doing like this bird multiple times across here. It's beautiful. I saw lots of birds on top of hearts like that. But then we've also got these really big, beautiful, bold flowers right here too. Is a bird going to be sitting on top of that? I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of winging this as we go through it, but I'm trying to keep it in mind some symmetry. So it could be that I set the birds up like this. Maybe I've got we got little flowers here. Hey, Sonnet, I caught your live. Thank you so much for sending people over. I really appreciate it. I'm the last in line, and I have a lot of amazing stockists to end close the day out. So I'm trying to do you guys proud. Yep. Yeah, it's been so much fun watching guys through the day do this. It's been a great experience, and I hope we get to do it again. I hope you guys want to do it again. All right, so back to the art. So maybe there's like a big bold flower in the middle, and then maybe there's like this stem coming out of it like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. And I kind of like the flower down low and the birds kind of coming up high like that. So touching base like that. So we got our symmetry. So the birds will provide that. And then I was thinking the other thing too is like, does it have to be perfectly, does it have to be perfect? Like maybe that guy could come over here and this one could come over here. Maybe they were all looking up at the heart like that. Make sure you guys can see that. Okay, so I pull my birds back down just a little bit. They've got the heart up here. They've got their own little flowers on either side. And then I've got a couple other doodads, also known as stamps. Let's see, like maybe, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a little bit symmetrical, but I mean, the other thing I could do too is have this be like the main part right here. And then maybe I come back in and do some stamping with the same stamp along the way. Just thinking out loud here. I do love this. I think, is this the pomegranate right here? I'm not sure what this is. Okay. New stamps are very sticky. So if you ever like get a new stamp and like put plastic down and then go back and do that and you're like, where did my art go? I don't know. It's probably stuck on the bottom of something. Okay, so let's get back to this and setting this up. I'm going to be using paint. I think Sherry used paint today with hers because she did one on a wall, and I believe that was paint, but with ink. But I'm going to be using paint on the stamps, and then I'm going to be going with white to make the outlines, and then probably won't have time for this, but I want to also come back and color them in. So that's, I mean, it's equally kind of balanced on both sides. So I kind of like that. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else. I got some little pretty flowers here. All right. I'm going to put flower there. So I'm putting it stamp side down because what I'm going to do next is come with a thin mount on top, and I'm just grabbing this whole thing right here. So I want to make sure things are, I could do that. I could put a flower down at the bottom. I could do 2 flowers right here. Like that. I like that. And then I got these 2 little flowers. They're a little bit different from each other, but maybe they go like that on the outside. And then I have these here, which I haven't used yet, but I'll probably come back in. Let's just get started with this right here and see how it turns out. All right, so now I'm going to grab one of my thin mounts, and it almost all fits like this. Oh, you know what? I need something. I think I'll take that. Well, maybe I'll put this. That would fit. What do you guys think? Any thoughts? Any thoughts out there? So I'm thinking about composition. That was a big thing that we talked about at the IOD conference. Composition. So I want things to be, got my thin mount. Tuck that in a little bit closer. Yeah, like that. The hearts are centered through the tulip. So I got my stem coming up. That's pretty even. That's looking pretty good. Nancy says, I think big flowers look better towards the top with the little ones out of vase. Oh, big ones at the top. Oh, I see. So these down here up at the top. So like this. I do like that. That's a good idea. And then I think these are different. Now that I see them a little bit further away from me, I'm not too sure about that. Let's see. Let me go back to my stamps. So we had like these. I like that. Probably that will probably work more like that. Yeah. I think if I line this up here, I want to be conscious of my border down here, because if I come in with a mold and it's one of these molds, like I was pointing out earlier, like, right? So that would be too big unless I push this up a little bit, maybe tucked it in like that. That could work. See, so we could have like a border of single molds along the bottom. And then they also had this other really pretty one that could also just work, something really pretty and plain like that. All right. So I think we're going to go with this. And as someone famous said, it's just paint. If it doesn't work out, it's just paint. Okay, so I've got this somewhat clean thin mount. And so what my intention is to do is to use this thin mount on top of this. And I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to put paint on it and come back and stamp this surface. All right, so And then the thing about the thin mount with the grids, I got this blue line down the middle. That lets me know where my center is. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just helps to kind of know where things are. So I want to make sure I've got it. That's our cat scratching my favorite sofa, but that's okay. So it's a little bit off, and I'm actually okay with that. All right. All right, so now I need my cameraman to step in. All right, and now I've got this ready to stamp, and I'm going to move this up here, and you're going to point the camera over here, please.
Okay. Everybody be careful because you're going to get seasick just for a second. I don't normally talk like that.
No, he doesn't. Okay, so that looks really good. Okay, and so I've got this. I've got my paint. I'm giving a little bit of a shake, and then I'm taking. I've got a paper plate around here somewhere, right behind me. This one's dirty. Oh, who loves a dirty paper plate? All right, and I got my. Let's see here. I think. So make sure can you guys see it okay? Oh, Sonnet, the cameraman is my husband. Yes, that is my husband. He's very familiar with being on camera himself. He's actually got quite the following as the dollar store children's sermon. He's a pastor by day and a magician and coffee roaster by night. So yeah, Pastor John's Blessed Beans if you like your coffee. See, I'm giving you a plug.
Yes.
All right, I'm pouring the paint here onto my plate. And oh, I do. My pants, and that was not intentional. That just kind of happened this morning. Isn't that funny? Okay, so I got my paint here. I watered it down just a little bit. I got a cheap roller from Michael's, and I'm rolling it in the paint. And then the thing about sponge rollers and stamps is that you don't want to push down really hard. So it's a really light touch like that. And the other thing that can happen too with stamps, with paint or with ink, is also if you press too hard, you can get paint on the thin mount, which could transfer to your furniture. So you have to be careful about that too. That's why I always have a ton of baby wipes around to help me wipe off I'm messy. I spill stuff all over the place. All right, I just like painting this white. It looks really pretty. A little bit more here. Try and get that heart. And here's the great thing. So this was something I saw Sherry do earlier today was stamp, paint, stamp. So she stamped her wall, and then she filled it in with paint, and then she went back and colored, and then went back and stamped it over again. All right, so now, hey, Kayleen, how are you? That's right, I'm not messy, I'm creative. All right, now we're gonna switch back. So cameraman. All right, drum roll, please. Thank you, cameraman. Does that look somewhat in the middle? Yeah, let's just see what happens. We're gonna move it down just a little bit. All right, it is down. It's a little bit crooked. That's okay. This is folk art, right? So here's the trick with this. Hold it down with one hand and press with the other so that you don't smudge your stamps. There's a lot of detail here, like there are with a lot of the IOD stamps, and I want to make sure that I get most of it. And I'm thinking about potentially stealing Sherry's idea of stamping it, filling it in with color, and then stamping it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm leaving the stamps on this thin mount exactly the way it is. That may or may not be a good idea. We'll find out. But the idea is so that if I want to stamp this again, my stamps are all set up in position. All right, so let's take it off. Let's do a big reveal. What do you guys think?
I think that looks great.
Yes. All right. So now I'm going to, I got my baby wipes and I'm just going to give my stamps a quick wipe down because I do not want the paint to dry on my stamps. And I don't have like a bowl set up like some other stockists will have, like a soapy water, a bowl of warm water with soapy water in it to throw their stamps into. But I really do want to try and use this placement again. So I'm just giving this a wipe to get off the worst of the paint or the heavy of the paint. But I think that turned out really pretty. What do you guys think? Let's see. Stamp painting is addicting. Yes, it is. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, I think it, I can't wait to fill it. I love the white though. I like the contrast, but I can also picture this with color in. What do you guys think? Do you think leave it as it is, or do you think fill it in with color? Thanks, guys. I'm not sure. Tell me what you guys think. Okay, so now I've got this in here. And I've got a few other stamps that I didn't use. I can look at other stamps, or I could look at, molds. What do I want to do next? That is the question. So I've got more stamps. I do want more stamps. That I know for sure. So I'm going to take away the molds. I'm going to figure out. So for example, I could do these, do recurring patterns here with these two stamps on the bottom here. I could do that. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, I like the white on pink. I like the white too. I think it really pops. But I want to do the whole chest, right? So like if I want to do, I've got yellow on the sides, and I could do yellow on the sides with paint there. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of decision making that has to happen, huh? Okay, so I think what I want to do is I'm going to extend these out in white along. Oh gosh, do I want to do that? I don't know. I could do something like this on both sides, right? So I could have these two stamps here like this. Could have them over here like this, or I've got some flowers here. No, it's too small. And that looks kind of like that. I don't want to do that. So I could do something like this along the bottom on both sides. 3 here, and then do 3 on the other sides. How about stamps towards the corners first and then move inwards? Let's see what that would do. So if we had, so that would basically be saying no, well, I could still do molds over stamps. There's nothing wrong with that. But I could do, I could do something kind of coming in off the sides like this. Like that. That seems too cluttered. But I want to do something to promote the symmetry a little bit more. So if I use 3 stamps on this side, I could do something like this, right? I could do 3, just kind of climbing up here. Look, I've got, I think this is going to work actually. I could do something like up this side here. Like that. I don't have any more. And then, no. Let's see here. I've got these fun little dots. And then I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We probably want 5. What are you guys thinking about this? Like just an actual line here. Do something like this. And then that would lean to the symmetry again. Here and here. And then I could come in and have some fun with the dots going across. Okay, I think I'm going to try that. Okay. Yes, then repeat on their side. Yes, Betty, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So I have these symbols here, and then I have these symbols. Then I do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so cool. Gonna grab another thin mount. Ask my cameraman to please prepare to switch the cameras. All right, so here I am again. I got another thin mount. You can never have too many thin mounts, in my opinion. And I've caught these right here. And this, I think I've got it. All right. But then I'll probably be handing it to you. Okay. So now I've got these three. And I think what? I think so. Can you guys see it okay? Oh, gosh, I could do, well, it's probably too late for that. I could reverse the order on the other side. That's a good idea too. I could flip it around. Huh, that's not a bad idea. All right. I think that looks good. But you know what? I am going to ask you, cameraman, to hold my my laptop and read out and share any of the messages that pop up on the screen like I showed you to earlier, please. And here I am with my white paint again. See, I got a little bit there. I'm just going to wipe it off with my thumb. Joni said something super funny earlier today about something that had something to do with using your finger as an art supplies. I forget what it was, Joni, but it was hysterical. Okay, now I'm going to need you to take the camera. Yeah. See, we're a team. All right, can you see it there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, and here we go. Let's put these a little bit closer to the edge than we had originally planned. And again, you put it down and you're kind of committed. You hold it down with one hand and you press with the other. I was showing these young women, they were like 16 or 17, how to stamp. And they started teasing me by saying, commit. You must commit.
So Betty says, Joni said you could reconstitute your DIY paint with your spit.
Oh, that's what you said. That was hysterical. Oh, yeah. Which is very true. You could, if you have enough spit. All right, and then I think I'm gonna go for that on the other side. And let me show you what that means. Not with my spit, but with my mister. So I need a little bit more. Oh, hey, would you mind putting the camera back here? Come on, chop, chop. Chop, chop. All right. Thank you. Come on, man. You're not like in the union or anything.
It just shut off.
What? It did not shut off. All right. So get ready to move it back, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, accidental art maker to you.
Yes, accidental art maker.
All right. I'm just using.
Help me.
No, you don't need me. All right. Here we go. All right. That's good enough. Hopefully it won't smudge over. Here we go. For this side, I'm going to actually stand up. Oh, my knees. I want to position this towards over here. I'm just eyeballing it, guys. Let's see. It needs to be it's a little bit higher than, looks pretty good. And then I'm holding it down and pressing. All right. And here we go. Beautiful. Love this stamp. Okay. I still feel it needs like this space in here. On both sides, there's like, I want to put something in here. I don't know what yet though. There are, I mean, like if we're trying to use every single stamp, I did like those little dots.
Front room on 7 says girl measure.
Well, yeah, I probably should be measuring, but I don't know. That takes too much time and I usually do it wrong. And I'm usually closer when I eyeball it. All right, so I got these dots. I can run dots along the bottom. See, now I'm thinking about like different color paint, right? Like if I put some stuff in here that was black, or maybe I think black would be good. But we've got like these leaves. I'm sorry, this little vine.
So we have, we don't need no stinking measuring.
That's right.
Nancy asks, do you have to use every stamp?
No, you don't. No, I just, I mean, for the sake of a demonstration, I would like, my viewers to see what they look like, but it is not necessary at all.
So front room on 7 clarifies, no, I meant girl measuring is eyeballing.
Oh, gotcha. That is very true. All right. So I don't want a border on the bottom. I think if I'm going to do a border, it's going to be with mold. I do like these dots. And I like the idea of the dots being black. And it could be like black dots with black flowers. Wait a minute. I got...
So Amanda says, I love that you eyeball things. Team eyeball.
Yes.
And Weathered Wing Art says, love it.
Oh, thank you, Weathered Wings. All right. So something like that maybe. So like imagine now, that probably would be too much. If to have this in the different corners, I think that would be too much. It could just be from the top coming down. I don't know. Now I'm trying to like bring in, if I was to be creating a hex here with these dots, what would the dots be doing? Like doing something to the bird? I don't know.
Connecting
the dots. Connecting. See, that could almost give it like a house look, right? Like this could be black dots here and then black dots over here, but kind of frame it a little bit, make it look maybe like not so much like a house, but it could. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like it. I'm calling it lovebirds.
Lovebirds? You or somebody?
Me.
Oh, you? Okay. Lovebirds. All right. So I think, I don't know. What do you guys think? I've got these cute little vines also. If we wanted more, I don't know. Maybe it's time to stop with this. Let's see. No, that'd be too crowded. And then, I don't know. I just really like these dots. I feel like the dots could be on here somehow.
I like the house look.
The house idea?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's my 2 cents.
I like that too. All right. And I'm going to do it in white just because I have white set up. I don't have black ready to go. Or I could do black ink. No, I'm going to stick with paint because paint's working. Because if I color these in, the white dots will probably stay white. All right. Welcome to the inside of my brain, people. How are we doing on time?
You got 15 minutes.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. So now we're going to switch the camera back to over here. Please.
That look weird.
Yes. I'm just going to, and then we're going to quickly be going back and forth just to give you a heads up. I need some more spit. All right.
Do you want sound effects?
No, thank you.
Okay.
All right. So now I'm just going to be, I think it's called freeforming. I've got, hey, kitty. And then now we're going to go back over here. And we're going to be eyeballing it.
Yeah, I'm going to straighten out the camera and come back over this way.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were following me already.
I was.
Come on, Chip Chop. Get to it, mister. Whoops. I almost messed up because of you.
I know.
All right, just leave the camera there. I'm gonna, I'm kidding everybody. I did not almost mess up.
Nancy says, how about a straight line on each side of the bird?
Yeah. It's a little too late, Nancy. You think in addition to these? All right.
Maybe it makes the house.
Oh, like that. Oh, I like that.
Maybe even in a little bit.
Like right here. Oh, so like the roof is hanging over?
That's my idea. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with something a little bit more geometric. I like that idea. All right, we're going for it. All right. What do you guys think? I'm kind of digging it. All right. I'm going to do the other side. And that's the great thing is if I look at it later, I don't like it, I just get out my kissing booth and cover that up. So goodbye dots. All right. Now this is where eyeballing gets dangerous, right? Because I got circles and I've got lines, and I do want this to be a little bit more, I don't want it to be super off. So that this comes through about here. All right.
Nancy says perfect.
All right.
You're over here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I dragged it a little bit because I did not commit with my stamp. Whoops. All right. See, there's a little smudge here, and that's okay. I can, like I said, I can totally come back in and touch it up. All right, now let's go for this straight line down here. I'm really careful here. I think I might have smudged that bottom. Huh, pretty good. Let me stand up and take a look. Okay. Huh, I'm liking it. I'm going to come look at it from the front. Oh, I like that. Okay. And I'm liking it in white. All right, let's go back to the molds really fast and see if molds can play with this art that I've got going here. How much time do we have left, John?
It's we got about 12 minutes.
Okay. All right. So the next question is, well, there's two other questions, right? Or maybe three. I think I'm done with the stamping on this. Pretty certain about that. Question 2 is, at some point, do I want to fill in color here? Like maybe even along the sides. I mean, I think it could be really pretty. I'm loving the bird's white though, so I'm not sure about that. So that's something for me to think about. And this last question is about these molds. Do I want to use molds, or do I have enough going on this top right now? So like, I think bringing the rabbits in, the rabbits could actually look like they're jumping over the house like that. Yeah, rabbits there. And we've got the birds too, right? The birds might be more logical, but the birds could be like down here in the corner.
So Amanda says it's folk-tastic.
Amanda, you're so clever. I was thinking about you earlier today, Amanda. I was like, I need Amanda to do my makeup next time I do a live. Okay. I do have, so like this mold.
Betty says love rabbits.
The rabbits are pretty cute. I kind of like the rabbits like jumping up here. I'm not sure though. And then we've got
Cameraman's a fan.
Cameraman's fan of the rabbits jumping.
Yep. Nancy says leave it white for today, as you can go back tomorrow and color.
Smart. I think that's the right thing to do. Okay. And then what are you guys thinking about the molds in general? So do you think the molds, I think they play well, but then, so if I had the molds up here, then I probably would paint the molds, right? Like I could paint these black and dry brush it with white.
The front room on 7th says keep pushing it with the molds. Super fun.
Okay. So I'm just going to put them all out here, and we're going to just kind of keep playing around with them. So these are all the molds. You don't need to use all the molds. I just want to, I would rather put a lot of stuff on and then kind of use the process of elimination to move things around and see what I like. And if I want to keep it or eliminate it, if it feels like it's not fitting in or it should go someplace else. This one right here is really cute. And here's the other thing too. You got this little tiny one right here. Sonnet, I think you use this in the center of your second piece. Like you have like a small round one right in the middle. So don't just count things because of their size. Like just because it's small doesn't mean it can't be mighty and be in the center focus of your work. Like that. Put a star up here. Got one more tiny flower. And some leaves. And then another thing too about molds is if you're playing around with them, so like this one broke, it's not really a loss because I can just glue it on like that and it will it'll look fine. No one will know it's broken. What I am wondering about is my little rabbit paw over here. This little rabbit paw. It's tiny.
Put it on a keychain.
You're so funny. Okay, so let's play around with this. I love the dots like this, kind of keeping the birds safe and protected from outside elements. And maybe the rabbits are like bad rabbits and they're trying to find a way into the house of love, of the love birds. But they're protected by love. And let's see, what else? That actually, I like this down here. And I can make another one and put it on that side over there. And then I would have the birds with this vine and the bird with a vine over here, like that would be really pretty. Keep that heart there. I'm not sure about these guys. Like these might be fun. So I got, I don't want to crowd it really close to this.
So Nancy says you lose your original design picture if you use too many molds.
That's true. Yeah. It could be like, let's see, like this.
But many folk art has a lot of design.
It does. But it's like I was trying to find out how people approached it. If they just kind of winged it, or like did they just kept throwing symbols in? Did a neighbor walk by and be like, "Hey, Mary, you should add, a little rabbit there or a bird there." Okay, so we've got that. So let's look at it this way. So these up here are pretty heavy and dominating. Do we want to keep them? What happens when we take them away and we bring them back, right? They kind of take away from the rabbits that are jumping. So maybe we, these are pretty thick, so we might not want to use these. So again, process of elimination. I do like this little wispy thing right here.
And Nancy's comment is that if you can wait till tomorrow and see what you think and like, maybe it's different.
Oh yeah, I definitely will wait tomorrow before I commit. But I just kind of like talking out loud through the process of, kind of like plugging in a stereo into my left and right brain at the same time, so that people can kind of, hear the process and kind of understand like. It's not crazy to be thinking all these different things and playing around with it. That's part of the fun. And I definitely will sleep on it. Like I'm not feeling, I don't want to paint anything right now. I don't want to glue anything down. That's for sure. I definitely want to sleep at night. But and I'm thinking like.
Betty says leaves on four corners and birds inside the bottom of the house.
Birds inside the bottom of the house. The molds. She's talking about the molds, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah. These could be the baby birds, and these are the mommy and daddy birds. And then that there. That's pretty. Let me take this out. I do like that flower. The only thing is somebody wants to use this as a counter that could knock things over, but that's not my problem. Okay, so I got the leaves. Is this what she's thinking?
Yeah, but there you go.
Okay. I'm liking that too.
Yeah, 5 minutes. And
Okay.
she says yes, that's what she was thinking.
Okay. I like that too. Okay. And it's pretty well balanced. And I think the molds are actually bringing in more symmetry to it.
Nancy says rabbits are protecting the flower nest in the middle. And then front room on the 7th says little birds in top corners, question marks. We like we train our kids to fly.
Oh, I love that. I kind of like the idea of them flying out off of the box like that. Because we've raised them well, and they're not coming back home. They're spreading their wings and flying away.
So Elizabeth says, I think the same way, 20 million ideas for every project.
Yeah, as part of the fun, right? The rabbits could go. I don't like the rabbits down here.
And front room says, yes, out.
Yeah. We got that. Could do something like this. See, so many different ways for this stamp and this mold to interplay with each other. I kind of like this right here, like coming out of the little heart down at the bottom. It's a little bit overpowering, but I think it's okay. I like that. And then I like the open space down here. And I love these little birds up here in the corner. See, like we're kind of putting a story together ourselves as a community around how to bring two different things together and find symmetry across them.
So front room says, so fun. Thank you for taking us on an adventure.
Yay, you are welcome. And I think that is a great place to say goodnight. Can you try to pull that up so let me in the picture again?
Yeah, there we are. Work the camera.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining the Colorful Collective today. It was so much fun doing this. I'm trying to talk everybody into doing this again when the transfers come in a few weeks. There's 4 transfers, so we could all pick 1 or 2 transfers, but I hope we get to do this again. I hope you guys, if you are just joining in and you've only watched me, go and look at the other stockists and how they played with their stamps and their molds today to create their pieces that they really had fun creating together too. So
Nancy asks, are there products for sale?
Oh yeah, accidentalartmaker.com. You can go there. And if you're joining from Facebook, I put a bunch of them on Facebook today too. But the best place, if you're one of my customers, or if you would like to be one of my customers, I'm online only. www.accidentalartmaker.com. If you want to go see these in person, you can go to the Iron Orchid Design website, and they have find a stockist there, and you plug in your zip code, and it will bring up where stockists have physical stores. So all of the other stockists who are on the show today have physical stores, and I think one of them also has a website in addition to a store. So there are plenty of places where you can also walk into a brick and mortar and find these too. If you like to touch things before and talk to a stockist too, face to face, if you're looking for that. I'm always available to answer any questions that you guys have too. Lots of times I'll get questions and I'll do a quick video and send it out in my email to you, or do a quick live about it as well, so I can develop a relationship with you and answer the questions you have. Also really helps me to understand like where people are finding challenges with their art, so that I can do a tutorial around it too. So lots of ways to get your hands on some Iron Orchid Design stamps, molds, transfers, and inlays.
And then Nancy says, but order through you.
You're welcome to order through me. I was saying earlier today, all the stockists are wonderful. I appreciate your business, but you can't go wrong with an IOD stockist, because all of them are super wonderful people and very nice, very creative. And it could be bright things are not your style, and you might want to find a stockist who like does like more like muted or whites or things like that. And no bad feelings here, but I of course welcome your business.
2 comments and then we are at the hour.
Okay.
One is Elizabeth says, thank you for sharing. You guys are fun.
Thank you.
And Front Room on 7 says, thank you for all your technology brilliance.
Oh, you are very welcome. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I really hope we get to do it again. So
Thank you, Nancy.
Yes. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, everybody, so much for joining tonight. Do you see how to end it where it says end?
I do. Thanks,
All
Nancy.
right.
Nancy says, thank you for your narrator. All right, I'm hitting end now.
All right. Bye, everybody.